Okay.
Think that's long enough?
Yeah, YouTube picks what he wants anyway.
Big tech. What next?
Day 58. Day 700 overall.
700.
Yeah.
We like even numbers.
So today, I have a couple of friends that I have to text proof of life to. That if I don't, then they get worried.
Nobody's asked me. Should I be worried? Maybe nobody cares but you.
Paul cares.
That's
Paul
true.
checked on
Paul did check on me. And Chris.
me. And you got Sam.
Me and Sam were in it together.
Multiple conversations with Sam.
Sam keeps me from jumping off the next cliff.
So I sent a pretty dark text, and I basically was like describing kind of what we talked about yesterday of the birth mother that came to the orphanage, and I did find out that they were able to give her some rice to try to tide her over, and
but don't tell anybody.
Definitely, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, but super
apparently
secret.
that's okay.
Shameful. You shouldn't feed people
rice.
that need it.
And I was just like, I mean, like this morning, I was still so defeated by it that like had a hard time getting out of bed, had a hard time like brushing my teeth. Like brushing my teeth felt like this insurmountable task because I couldn't stop thinking about the kids that I saw yesterday that couldn't be helped. And like I realize we're surrounded by kids that can't be helped, but like I'm like, I can't even brush my teeth because I'm so paralyzed by this one thing and I need to do something about it. So we're gonna appeal to the court of public opinion. And even though like we have these updates where Jeremy's gone to the offices and we've seen our kids and we hear this and we hear that, to be honest, nothing has changed tangibly for our case, for our life. We've been in Liberia for 2 weeks. The U.S. government doesn't care that we're here. We've emailed our congressional leadership and they say they can't do anything. We've tried to reach out to the embassy. They don't want to help us. The Liberian government is like, well, your own people are blockading this, and I'm like, but you're the one holding the paper that needs to be signed. So we've really gotten no progress at all. We've spent 2 weeks of our life in Liberia. We've enjoyed getting to know our kids. We've enjoyed giving hope to other kids, but we need more help. I found a blog that I wrote that sticks with me about Liberian kids. And when we were fundraising a lot, I just remember writing this blog. It talks about kind of the number one reasons that kids don't make it versus the United States. So this is from tradingeconomics.com. Oh, we've been dying for this to happen. We've been wanting the power to go out during our video.
It's happened.
This is really tricky.
At least the phone's still on.
So
that's good.
This is like literally like I feel like evil powers trying to keep us from doing what we need to do. So the power's out, and we're just gonna keep talking to you guys. I'll turn on my flashlight because we obviously don't post these live, so you can see our shadows.
This is pre-recorded. Oh,
there it goes.
Good.
Yeah.
They kicked the generator in.
So just in case you weren't listening before. Mortality rate under 5 in the United States per 1,000 births is 6.3%. Mortality rate in Liberia per 1,000 births in 2020 was 78.3%. So 78% of kids die in Liberia to match U.S. 6%. And how many people live in Liberia? You said it today. 3.
It's roughly a little over 3 million, I think.
Yeah. Pretty sure we got 1 million in Nashville, right?
Somebody may fact check me on that, but
yeah, so it's a small number of people comparatively to the world. It's a little bitty country trying so hard to make it. And we're seeing those statistics. And when we were doing our fundraising, I don't use my kids' faces on the internet. If you guys do put your kids' faces on the internet, don't. Like, you need to stop. Especially kids that are being adopted. I know that sometimes, you want to do that and you need to do it because you feel like that's celebrating them somehow, but it's not a good idea for them, so just don't. If you need to know why you shouldn't, I can give you a long, separate video on how traffickers actually do function and how they use your kids' pictures to do that, but that's not for today. But the statistics on kids dying in Liberia, And the top 10 reasons they die in Liberia. The number one reason a kid under the age of 5 dies in Florida is because they drown because their parents don't teach them to swim and nobody was watching them. If you live in Florida, you can pay me a very small amount or nothing at all, and I will teach your kids to swim. The number one reason that you die in Liberia is malaria. The next one is malnutrition. The next one is like, and this is for all the people, not just the kids. Malaria is super treatable. 78% of Liberia survives on $3.10 a day. 78% of those 3 million people survive on $3.10 a day. Jeremy and I spent more than $3 before we brushed our teeth today.
It's true.
And they're surviving on that. So yeah, it's dark. This is a dark video. You know, I was looking back through this blog, and we kind of switched over to the YouTube videos every day instead of my blog every day that nobody ever read, but maybe my 2 best friends. You know, I put it on our Adopt Together, people that have contributed to our story. You know, we're not really we'll take any extra fundraising that we can get because we're probably going to need it. And if we don't need it, we know families that do. But I used to take pictures of our kids' feet. That's what I was talking about, the pictures thing. And I would post pictures of our kids that are orphans in the orphanage, that are still in orphan land limbo because we're sitting right here as their parents and we're not allowed to parent them. But I would take pictures of their feet and ask people to imagine what their feet have run from, climbed over, hid from to survive from ages 0 to 4 before they entered the orphanage. Because it's not like they just turned 4 and 6 and just entered the orphanage and everything was just barely bad and then got better. They survived hell in Liberia, starvation, all kinds of stuff that we don't understand. There was a British charity in 2019 that identified 100,000 orphans in Liberia in dire need of food and clean water. 100,000, what percentage of 100,000 is 3 million? That this British charity just discovered. They were just living together in this middle of nowhere. Country summary on the CDC website last year said that violent crimes such as armed robbery is common, particularly in urban areas and on public beaches. Local police lack the resources to respond effectively to serious crimes. Demonstrations occur regularly and have on occasion results in violence and or use of tear gas by authorities. If traveling in Liberia, make all efforts to complete your travel during daylight hours. Due to increased safety hazards at night, U.S. government employees are prohibited from traveling outside the capital or between counties after dark, with the exception of travel to and from the airport. So, there are kids that were turned away from the orphanage yesterday right in front of us. And as hard as that is, I think that the reason for it is because we need to talk about this more. So I don't really have anything funny to say today. I don't have anything catchy. I don't have anything good. I flew, how many miles? 6,000 miles? With my entire family to walk in a seriously dangerous country that ranks, let's look that up. Poverty. What is the Liberian poverty rank? Do you know? We looked at it.
It was like 140 something out of 150 something. It's very near the bottom with a 48% literacy rate.
You know, the reason that we are told that the reason that our adoption has taken so long is because the U.S. government is putting pressure on the Liberian government, and the Liberian government are scared to death of the U.S. government because the U.S. helps them the most, and they're scared to death of having that help or support pulled that they can't even do their own jobs. The literacy rate, meaning people that can read and write and add and subtract a little bit, is 46%. So of those 3 million people, less than half can read and write and even sign their own name, much less understand what they're signing up for. But, okay. So the top 10 poorest countries in the world. Am I reading this right? The 10 poorest countries, starting from the country ranking 10th poorest, up to the country ranking the top poorest. So the poorest country in the world is South Sudan, followed by Burundi, Central African Republic, and Democratic Republic of the Congo, Niger, Mozambique, Malawi, and then Liberia. So Liberia is number 8. Africa's oldest republic is ranked amongst the poorest country in the world for many years. And it's getting a little bit better. How many countries are in the world?
Like 150 or something.
I want to know what would happen if every single person that watches this video shared it 3 times, and then all 3 shares got that person and those 3 people they shared it to directly. I don't mean like you posted on your Facebook feed, but I mean like you texted this video to your friend or to somebody that you know. There's 195 countries in the world, and Liberia is 8th from the bottom. So what's 195 minus 8?
185.
That's 10 from the bottom. 195 minus 8.
Oh, I think it says 193. Oh,
195 minus 8.
197. 187.
195 minus 8.
187.
He's teaching our kids, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, 187.
There's college education.
187.
So it's 187th out of 195. And guess who is the richest country in the world?
America.
So, it says Luxembourg.
Ah, so close.
We're not even in the top 10.
I wonder what they're basing that on. Surely it's
Gross domestic
not
product.
GDP.
Largest economy in the world. Most economic country in the world. United States, then China, then Japan.
We're doing good, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'm sad. I'm sad I've been here for 2 weeks and the U.S. government doesn't give a crap about where I am or what I'm doing. I'm sad that the Liberian government feels so paralyzed by the U.S. government that they don't know how to do the right thing either. I am ready to set things on fire after seeing that woman have to walk away when she was trying to place it. And it's so hard to even come up with the guts to walk through that door and ask for help and not get it. I'm ready to burn a lot of things. And I may set some things on fire. I am so angry and so frustrated with the reality that is today. And I have said for years that, you know, good people exist. People are good with good intentions. And if there are enough good people with good intentions, there's always enough space for another kid to come home. And that used to be more of a fundraising mantra. People are good with good intentions, and there'll always be enough money for one more kid to come home. But it's not money that's the problem. It's just people doing the right thing, just doing their job as it sits before them that they're being paid to do. So, we need more help. This is not something that we can do. We need a news outlet to pick this up. We need more people to talk about it. We need more people to care about it. I know it's not your problem. I know it's not your kid. But if it was your kid and I knew about it, I would do a lot. I would do a lot. I wouldn't just email my Congress and not wait for it to, I would call them, I would email them. We've done all that. But it takes massive numbers of voices. And there's how many people that live in the U.S.?
Like 350 million.
350 million to the 3 million that live in Liberia. So we're desperately trying to speak for the orphans in Liberia and the children in Liberia that want a shot at life, any life. And their death is not something that's pleasant. If they don't make it, it's not like they just, stop breathing. until they are starving, until they are hit by a car, until they are beat to death, until someone traffics them, sells them, rapes them, kills them, maims them, and puts them on the street to work some more. This is not a pleasant place to die. This is not a pleasant economy to try to survive. And as American citizens, we have to provide a better example. You know what? The people here that we've met are so kind to us. They're like, welcome. You know, they have a lack of education here. They have a lack of literacy here. They do not have a lack of resources naturally, but they have different companies from larger nations coming in and taking advantage. I mean, a bag of M&Ms here is like $25. Like, come on, Mars. Like, it's just ridiculous. But at the same time, like, I want to believe that people are good, and I want to believe that people that know our story and hear our story, that our story can represent the thousands of orphans here that would be excellent Americans. And think of who they will become. Think of who they will become if we don't adopt them. They're going to be filling a hole in the ground. And think of who they could become if we do. But I'm pretty defeated today. My friend Tita came over and she cheered me up a lot. She's a Liberian that we've met here through friends of friends. She's fantastic. And I told her I was sad. And she came over, she cooked us dinner. We had pumpkin soup and chicken in it. It was so good. So good.
And some rice.
Some rice. And I brought ranch dressing from home, which cheered me up as well. We've pretty much eaten all of our candy, so I don't have any more candy to eat my feelings.
Made a cookie run.
I have the cookies that I bought for the orphans that I'm sneaking into. But yeah, we need more help. We can't do any more that will matter without that push of a wave of U.S. American citizens. Like, unless we have a wave of American citizens that just step up and storm some type of evil gates for us physically, with your emails, with your phone calls, with your physical presence. Like, go to your congressional office and tell them, like, this is not right. The United States is exploiting these people and delaying this process, and the Liberian government should not be afraid of us. There's no reason for us to intimidate them.
Yes.
Economic superpower leading the world.
Potentially in the wrong direction. So, look, all we heard today about our case and our situation is that they're supposed to meet with the police tomorrow. We'll see. That seems to be a moving target. We do have a friend that's
It's
actually...
the fourth time they've said that to us.
This is a friend that actually was able to call one of the workers there and get just information on what's happening. So hopefully that's going to happen. And they're supposed to call him back with an update tomorrow. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll hear from them before we would anywhere else. So, friend of a friend.
Yeah, and there's a lot of adoptive families that were pushing really hard for different things and contacting congressional leadership, writing letters and all of that, and a lot of that has died off. I don't know if it's because they didn't get a good response or because they're just frustrated or they're tired or there's nothing moving and everybody's given up, but we need that push again.
Yes.
We can't just be here on our own making little videos, sending Facebook group chat updates that don't help. I mean, I know everybody wants to know information, but I need you guys to act. I need you to take action. These kids need you to take action. And if you do nothing, you're playing for the other team. Because that's the thing. Evil prevails when good men do nothing. And I will tell you that in this adoption world, where these orphans are barely surviving, because of a lack of American leadership that's positive and a lack of adoptive families and people in general speaking out against this problem, we need more numbers on that, not just one or two. We need like hundreds of thousands of people to voice an opinion on that. Then evil prevails. So if you do nothing, then you're allowing evil to prevail, and that's on you. But I know that we'll eventually get good news from our adoption, but I want to know how many kids are going to get buried, how many kids are going to die and spend their future in the ground here, because not enough people cared to save their life, which I know is doom and gloom. I just don't have anything but doom and gloom today.
Well, you talked about the food. That was positive.
And Tita cheered me up, yeah. She cheered me up. She gave me a hope that people are good. She lives here in Liberia and she brought us dinner. Jeremy's like trying to Like give her something for at least the cost of the food, you know. Like she spent her whole evening here. She brought her sweet son with her. They had a great time with Sway and everything. But so many of the adult Liberians here that are good have just said, you know, we should make it easy. You guys are doing a good thing.
Yes.
It's not easy.
So Thursday we'll be going back to the MOG and waiting probably the whole day.
Yeah.
I need signatures and court date, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I need you to do your job.
I could hold one of those signs like they do at the airport.
You're trying to cheer me up.
I need to coordinate.
There's no cheer me up today. It's
Okay.
an impossible thing. You might cheer them up, but nobody's cheering me up today.
Okay.
I need a little more evidence that people are actually good before anything will cheer me up. In general. 'Cause these kids deserve better. I don't know, I can't dress it up today.
That's fair.
Not even a little bit. That's it.